The United States and Germany have both made efforts to overcome Europe's status as having one of the world's most complex roadways to construct. However, because to the location of the route, the United States and Germany finally decided to terminate the project and issues with the building. On the other hand, China enjoys a challenge and finds satisfaction in taking on projects that are more challenging. In the end, China decided to take control of the $950 million project in order to demonstrate to the rest of the world that it is capable of developing advanced infrastructure. On the other hand, when Germany and the United States found out about it, they started laughing at China. They feel that China just does not possess the capability necessary to build the motorway that is considered to be the most challenging to build. In what ways, therefore, is the construction of this European route challenging? Will China be able to ultimately construct it? In recent years, China has demonstrated to the world step by step the complete strength that it has. At this point in time, China has developed into one of the leading nations in the world in terms of both economic growth and the introduction of new technologies. In addition, the capabilities that China possesses in terms of its infrastructure have surprised governments all over the world. As of the year 2021, China will have constructed 111,000 kilometers of expressways. In addition, China will have established a great number of infrastructure projects that have stunned the rest of the globe. Examples of such projects include the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macao Bridge, as well as the Three Gorges Dam. China is home to a significant number of the world's great buildings. For instance, China is home to the world's longest sea-crossing bridge, which ranks 1st through 4th overall. Now, China is not just focused on its own nation. Rather, it has also showcased its infrastructure technologies to the rest of the globe and collaborated with other countries that are favorable to China. For instance, several nations in Europe have initiated in-depth dialogue with China, which was followed by the commencement of new cooperative endeavors. One of these countries is Montenegro, which can be found in Europe. It's possible that you haven't heard of the country of Montenegro, yet its geographic position is extremely important. With a total land size of just 13,812 square kilometers, Montenegro is a landlocked nation in Europe that can be found in the southern section of the Balkan Peninsula. Montenegro is one of the smallest countries in Europe, with a population of about 620,000 people, making it one of the least populous countries in the region. The Bar-Bolgara motorway in Montenegro was constructed by China and is considered to be the most challenging road in all of Europe. Given that it is Montenegro's very first motorway, the significance of this road cannot be overstated. However, the Bar-Bolgara highway is located in Europe. Thus, why should China be allowed to construct it? Montenegro is a member of the European Union, yet it is not a wealthy nation. Because it lacked the resources and expertise necessary to construct roads, Montenegro sought assistance from other nations. At first, Montenegro did not approach China with the intention of seeking collaboration on road construction projects. During that time period, both Germany and the United States of America planned to construct what was then known as the Bar-Bolgara Highway. However, the cost of building of the road should not be more than $1 billion United States dollars, and the road's construction will be extremely challenging. Both Germany and the United States at the time believed that the Bar-Bolgara motorway was a project that was of little interest, and eventually both nations declined to work with Montenegro on the project. After 6 years, no nation has expressed interest in assuming control of the Bar-Bolgara motorway in Montenegro. This demonstrates that the construction of this route is extremely challenging from a different point of view as well. In that case, other nations, particularly large countries such as the United States and Germany, will not give up receiving, much alone give up receiving easily. At some point in time, China established control over the Bar-Bolgara highway. However, when the United States and Germany found out that China assisted Montenegro in the construction of the highway, they began to make fun of China since they believed that China was incapable of constructing this very challenging route. The United States has even resorted to using the media to spread negative stereotypes about China throughout the world. How challenging would it be to construct the Bar-Bolgara highway? According to available information, Montenegro is a nation that may be found in Europe in the southernmost portion of the Balkan Peninsula. The Bar-Bolgara highway is known for being the most treacherous roadway in all of Europe. Because of the extremely complicated position and the extremely high height, it sits at the most significant aspect is that the transportation infrastructure in Montenegro is relatively underdeveloped, and it is challenging to carry out development in the mountainous regions due to the lack of vegetation. Due to the aforementioned drawbacks, the Bar-Bolgare motorway in Montenegro has been given the title of Project of the Century throughout Europe. The first highway built in Montenegro was given the name Bar-Bolgare motorway. It is immensely significant to the nation of Montenegro, both in terms of the complexity of its construction and the role it plays in the nation's history. After China took control of the Bar-Bolgare expressway, in Montenegro, several nations who had previously been afraid to face China have since been unscrupulously making fun of China. However, China is used to dealing with circumstances like this. On the other hand, China may be motivated to put more effort into this project if it believes that doing so will allow it to demonstrate its capabilities to the rest of the world. To put it another way, the Chinese were the ones who first started work on this roadway, which is renowned for being the most challenging to construct anywhere in the world. It is common knowledge that the whole distance covered by this roadway in Montenegro is 180 kilometers, and that the ratio of bridges to tunnels has already reached 60. In addition to this, the Montenegro North-South Expressway travels through two distinct climate zones, which will provide challenging obstacles once building work gets underway. China, however, has not been baffled by these issues, and China has provided the world with a solution that is flawless. Following a period of 694 days, China and Montenegro made the formal announcement that the highway constructed as part of the Project of the Century had been successfully finished. The accomplishment of China astonished the entire globe, and Montenegro has been able to contribute to the economic growth of its own nation as a direct result of the successful construction of this roadway. The United States of America, green with envy over China's achievements, spread false information about China. According to the United States, Montenegro has paid a hefty price for the building of the road at this time, which resulted in a severe financial burden. Despite this, Montenegrin President Milo Djukanovic was adamant that he was telling the whole truth after all the defamation. The president of Montenegro, Milo Djukanovic, stated that China is not the most costly partner in this partnership and that the amount of money paid is determined by the contract. In addition, the president of Montenegro, Milo Djukanovic, noted that his country has never looked back with regret on its decision to work with China. Without assistance from China, the Bar-Bolgare Highway in Montenegro does not know when it will be able to formally meet with you. In addition, as a result of the prosperous completion of the North-South Expressway in Montenegro, a significant amount of good influence has been delivered to the surrounding community. It not only satisfies the requirements for traffic safety in Montenegro, but it also formally links the southern half of the country with the northern half of the country. In the not-too-distant future, the Bar-Bolgare Highway will be an asset to the Montenegrin government's efforts to foster the nation's continued economic growth. When looking back over the course of so many years, it is clear that China went through a time in which it was seen to be backward. However, China was able to rapidly discover the lost path and make up for lost ground in a very short amount of time. And the nations who are content to scoff at China from the sidelines have no choice but to observe as China's technological advancements and capacities continue to astound the globe as they try to catch up with themselves step by step. Now, China has demonstrated to the world that it is capable of developing its infrastructure with its own might. China is committed to maintaining its cooperative relationships with other nations and expanding the scope of the areas in which it applies its expertise in the future.